And silent cell phones, we'll call the court to order at this time. My name's Matt Rothy. I'm the Stoughton Municipal Judge that covers the jurisdictions of City of Stoughton, towns of Dunkirk, Pleasant Springs, and Rutland. I'd just like to go through some of the procedures we follow in the courtroom. These procedures should have been available to you in the pamphlet on the podium as you entered. We take people on a first-come, first-served basis. This is plea night. When your case is called, please come forward. I'll ask you to enter a plea of either guilty, not guilty, or no contest. If you enter a no contest or guilty plea, I'll review your citation. If there's a factual basis, find you guilty and impose forfeiture. A plea of no contest is similar to a guilty plea, but a conviction arising from a no contest plea cannot be used against you in a subsequent case. Let me explain that. So, say if you're involved in a traffic accident and you receive a citation. If you enter a no contest plea, that person can't, you're not claiming that you're guilty, and that person can't use that no contest plea against you if they sue you for damages. The forfeitures range from $50 to $1,000. However, almost all within the $50 to $200 range. The state mandates we add costs to your forfeiture. For example, a $50 forfeiture will result in a total cost to you of $124. I'll grant you 30 days to pay. If you need additional time, please let me know and we can arrange a payment plan. If you do not pay, I really have limited options to collect. I can intercept your taxes. I can suspend your driver's license for a year. I'd rather not do that. So if you just need additional time, just let me know. If you enter a not guilty plea, I'll order that you attend a pretrial conference at our next court session with a pretrial conference with the city attorney. Basically, you call in and you have a phone conversation. That's on May 15th will be the pretrial date. If you can reach a resolution, the results get reported and likely approved. If not, if you can't reach a resolution, it comes back before this court before a trial. Those of you facing traffic offenses should understand that you lose demerit points upon conviction. If you lose 12 or more points in any 1 year period, your license will be suspended. You'll also be fined. Though I'd like you to be aware of some of your rights before entering a plea. You have the right to ask for a continuance. This means that your case can be set over for another court date, either consult with a lawyer or for some other reason. This is a civil court. You're not entitled to a public defender, but you may hire an attorney at your own cost. You also have a right to a trial. Please remember your rights when considering your plea. Those of you charged with operating a motor vehicle while under the influence of intoxicant can appeal, can take the case directly to the circuit court for a jury within 10 days. If you do not file a jury request in 10 days, you will lose the jury right for an OWI. However, you can have my case. You can appear in this court and then the right to appeal my ruling or judge's ruling to the circuit court. Basically everybody who feels aggrieved by any court decision in this court can always appeal at the circuit court. With that, that concludes my opening remarks. We'll now take people on a first-come, first-served basis. First person is Scott Ganser. Right in front of the podium, and make sure that you turn the microphone on. You should have a little red light going. Success.
There we go.
Mr. Ganser, do you have your correct address on County Road AB in McFarland?
Yes.
All right. You received 2 citations. We'll review one of them at a time. Yeah, it's right by his church.
Oh,
Yeah, it's kind of curved.
sorry.
Yep. Operating while suspended. This citation carries a penalty of $124 and 3 demerit points issued to your driver's license. Do you understand what operating while suspended is?
Yes.
Okay, the forfeiture range on this is 0 to 200. You're at $30. You're $50 plus cost. You're not the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. Do you understand that as well?
Yes.
All right. Second citation is operating motor vehicle without insurance. This citation carries a penalty of $124 and 0 demerit points. Forfeiture range on this is again 0 to 200. Do you understand what operating motor vehicle without insurance is?
Yes.
All right. So $50 plus cost is the forfeiture range. Not at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. Any questions for me?
None.
Do you have a valid license now?
Occupational.
Okay. All right. So was there some question about whether you would have had the suspended license? You don't tell me because I can't really hear the facts. But sounds like, would this be a good case for a not guilty plea? That we want to talk to the prosecutor about it to show that your occupational license?
No. At
Okay.
the time, I didn't have it.
Okay.
My ignorance, I guess.
Okay. There's the opportunity you could have a plea bargain with the prosecutor if you'd like. You'd have to enter a not guilty plea to do that, though, for both citations.
I'm basically guilty. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Do you have valid insurance at this point?
Yes.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes.
All right. Do you want to show the proof to the bailiff?
That was a brand new car, is why I didn't have insurance on that.
Okay, and you updated your insurance soon after you received the citation, it looks like that you did.
Absolutely.
All right. Okay, since you showed me valid proof of insurance, the court on its own motion will dismiss the insurance citation. So it just leaves the operating law suspended, 3 points, $124. Are you ready to enter a plea at this time?
Yes.
And what plea would that be?
Oh, guilty, please.
You understand with a guilty plea, I must find you guilty? Is that yes? In other words, you can't, if I find you guilty, you can't change your mind and then want to enter a not guilty plea?
You won't hear a peep out of me.
All right. Let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. I have reviewed the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I decide a sentence?
No, thank you.
Okay. I find the $124 forfeiture be appropriate. 30 days to pay be sufficient?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I'll give you 30 days. If you want to pay right now, you can take it to the dispatch window and take care of it this evening then. So
Perfect.
I'll give you the forms in just a minute. Once you receive those, you're free to go.
Cool.
Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
in. James Vogt.
That is not James Vogt.
An unusual one.
Okay. And you are?
Madeline Vogt,
Okay.
the driver of the vehicle at the time of the citation.
Oh.
So that's, I don't know, I didn't know what to say to her, and this is the officer in here that gave her the tickets, or him. the
That's all right,
tickets.
that's all right. So, the listed defendant is James Vogt. Let me make sure I get there. So you are not James Vogt, but you're the driver of the vehicle.
Correct.
Because of the unusual circumstances, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and enter a not guilty plea.
Okay.
That way, I'll set it up for a pretrial conference with the city attorney, can explain what happened, and then see if the case can be resolved that way.
Okay.
Okay. We'll give you a notice in just a minute. The pretrial conference is 2 weeks from tonight, right?
Actually, May 15th.
May
were
15th.
billed for the first.
Yep, May 15th. So we'll give you a document with a phone number on it. You can go ahead and call that, explain what exactly happened to the prosecutor. And
Okay.
that way, if it gets a chance to tell your side of the story, so if it gets resolved, it will get report back to the court. If it doesn't get resolved, what will happen then is it will come to the court before a trial then, so.
Okay. Will I need any other materials for this?
That's up to you. The pretrial conference is whatever you want to do, so.
All right.
Can you, is her,
And what is your
her
name?
name again is?
Madeline Vogt.
Madeline, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That will take care of it for this evening.
Thank you. Thanks.
Christian Rolfe? Did I say that name correctly?
Yes.
Mr. Rolfe, do I have your correct address on 4th Street in Stoughton?
Yep.
Received a citation for non-registration of auto. That citation carries a penalty of $98.80 and 0 demerit points issued your license. The forfeiture range on this is quite narrow, if I remember correctly. $0 to $200. So you're at $30 plus cost. You're at the low end of the scale. Do you understand that?
Yep.
All right. Has the vehicle been registered?
Yeah,
All right. Do you have proof of registration?
I do.
You want to give that to the bailiff, and I'll take a look
Sure.
at it? I won't confiscate your phone.
That's all good.
And it looks like you did that right after you were cited for this?
Correct.
Okay. The court's goal is to make sure that people update their registration. Since you provided me proof, the court on its own motion will dismiss the citation.
I appreciate that.
All right, thank you. That
Thanks.
takes care of it for this evening.
He wants a receipt of that?
Do you want a receipt of that dismissal?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. Make sure you have, there you go. Lori Langston. Miss Langston, do I have your correct address on Vernon Street here in Stoughton?
Yes.
All right. You received a citation for retail theft, intentionally taking less than $500. This citation carries a penalty of $187. Do you understand what retail theft, intentionally take less than $500 is?
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. You don't need me to read the statute to you? All right. She's shaking her head, all indicates no. This is you're at $100 plus cost, $187. So this ranges from $50 to $1,000. So you're not at the minimum, but you're at the lower end of the scale. You understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay. In addition, if you're found guilty, you understand that I could also order that you pay restitution. Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
You know what restitution is?
Yes.
Okay, so basically, the value of the items that were allegedly taken, if they were not recovered, I could order that you pay that amount as well. You understand
Okay.
that? And that would be in addition to the $187. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So if it's in addition to the 187, what happens, and if any amount that you would pay would go towards the restitution first. Okay. Do you have any procedural questions for me?
No, sir.
All right. Now is the time I take your plea. There are three plea options: are guilty, no contest, or not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay. With a not guilty plea, we'll accept your not guilty plea and schedule the matter for pretrial conference on May 15th. We'll give you the notice in just a minute. What happens is we'll give you a number to call. You make sure that you call the prosecutor at that time and that time. Prosecutors represent the city of Stoughton, so they're on the opposite side.
Okay.
So again, you don't get a public defender, but they'll want to see if you can resolve the citation. If it gets resolved, the reports will get reported back to the court and most likely accepted. If you can't reach a resolution, you come back here for a trial. The city will present their side, and then you'll present your side, and the judge will make the decision based upon what evidence is presented. Okay, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we'll give you that notice in just a minute if you want to. Here it comes. Nolan Twining. Mr. Twining, do I have your correct address on Harmony Drive in Janesville?
No. It's
What is
changed.
it?
1609 Jackson in Stoughton.
Is there an apartment number?
No.
69 Jackson Street, Stoughton, 53589.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Twining, you received a citation for non-registration of auto. That citation carries a penalty of $98.80. That is a $30 fine plus costs. I just looked it up, but I'll have to look it up again. The forfeiture range on this is, I believe it's $0 to $100. Let me test. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Just a minute. Test my memory. 0 to 200. So you're not at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. You understand that as well?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Twining, did you update the registration?
I did.
Do you have proof of that?
Yes.
Do you want to show the proof to the bailiff? Thank you. And it looks like you updated the registration soon after you received the
Yeah,
citation?
the
Okay.
next day.
Okay. The goal of this court is to make sure the automobiles are registered. Because you showed me proof, the goal's been achieved, and the court on its own motion will dismiss the citation.
Okay.
I'll give you a
appreciate
receipt in
that.
just a minute. Once you receive that receipt, that will take care of it for this evening then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Amanda Rothermick? Mitch, Mick?
Mick, you got it.
Ms. Rothermick, you received a citation for non-registration of auto. Citation carries a penalty of 0 points and a forfeiture of $98.80. It's a $30 fine plus cost. The forfeiture range is $0 to $200, but 0 points. You understand all that?
Yes,
Did you register the vehicle?
I did.
All right. Same routine? I know that we just went through this, but I always have to make sure I create a record on every citation. Give me the, I'll note for the record, she gave the registration, updated registration of the bailiff, verifying the VIN number. Oh, is your correct address in 2nd Street in Edgerton?
Yes,
All right. Okay. And you did this right after you received the citation?
I did.
Okay. Goal is to make sure the automobiles are registered. You've done so. You met the court's goal. As a result, the court on its own motion will dismiss the citation. We'll give you that dismissal receipt in just a minute. Once you receive that, that will take care of it for this evening then.
thank you.
Thank you for coming in. Emily Weber? Ms. Weber, do I have your correct address on Oak Hill Avenue in Janesville?
Yes,
All right. You received 2 citations. One is for operating while suspended. That citation carries a penalty of $124 and 3 demerit points issued your driver's license. So that's the $50 forfeiture plus costs. The forfeiture range on this is as follows. Do you understand what operating a motor vehicle while suspended is?
I do.
Do you need me to review the elements with you?
I don't.
Forfeiture range is $50 to $200. So you're actually at the minimum forfeiture range. Do you understand that?
Yep.
All right. Second citation is operating motor vehicle without proof of insurance. That citation carries a penalty of $10. Do you understand what operating motor vehicle without proof of insurance is?
Yes.
All right. It's an interesting forfeiture range. It's $10. That's the extent of it. Okay. Any procedural questions with these citations?
No.
Did you update your license?
On the 24th of this month.
Okay. Did you update proof of insurance?
No, not yet.
All right. Here's you probably should enter a not guilty plea, and then in the meantime, that will be scheduled for a pretrial conference on May 15th. If you get your license, if you get your regular license or you get your suspension lifted, I'm sure the prosecutor will be very interested in hearing that. So, does that sound like something that you would want to do?
Yep.
All right. We'll enter a not guilty plea. Schedule this matter for a pretrial conference. I'll make sure that you call. We'll give you a sheet with a number to call. And at that number, make sure that you call at that time, because if you don't, prosecutor tell me that you didn't call in. I'll find you default and I'll find you guilty of both of those. So it kind of defeats the purpose of coming tonight. So make sure that you bring that. And again, what will happen then is that if you're able to resolve it, the results get reported back to this court and likely approved. If not, then what happens is it comes back to this court for trial. Judge will hear all the evidence and then weigh the decision based on the evidence. You understand that?
I do.
Okay. Once you receive that, the information on how to call the prosecutor, that will take care of it this evening. And sir, if you could remove your hat. Thank you. Are you related to the Weber basketball coach?
No.
Okay. I had to ask. I meant his.
Not that I'm aware of anyways.
Okay. Meet his uncle. Okay, so I see number 8 entered a not guilty plea. Up to number 9. Luann Reese? Reese? Ms. Reese, do I have your correct address on Tower Drive in Stoughton?
Yes.
All right. You received a citation for failure to stop for a school bus. This citation carries a penalty of $250 and 4 demerit points issued your driver's license. Now, $250 forfeiture, that's a $150 forfeiture plus costs. The forfeiture range on this is as follows. First of all, do you understand the elements for failure to stop for a school bus?
Yes.
All right. You don't need me to read them to you?
No, I think I read them.
Okay. I can, if you like. I've got the statutes right here, so, okay.
I'm good.
The forfeiture range on this is $30 to $300. So forfeiture can be as low as $30 plus cost, which is what's it, $92.50, or as high as $300 plus cost. So I can go up or down in the range depending on the circumstances. All right. Now, in addition to that, 4 demerit points issued your driver's license. Let me check to see. There's certain failure to yield citations as well, and if you're found guilty of these citations, this DOT mandates that you attend a class as well. This one is not on it, so no class from the DOT. All right, any procedural questions for me?
I do. I also noticed that because this was taken from the camera on the bus.
I can't discuss facts right now. I don't know anything about it. So if you have any doubts about whether the camera was taken from the bus and all that.
Well, I do, but the timeline for the
Right.
issuing of the ticket wasn't there.
My suggestion would be that you enter a not guilty plea and talk to the prosecutor about that. See if you can resolve it, because I can't amend the citation from the bench, other than what you've seen tonight, the non-registration of autos and speeding. So.
Because it was very upsetting to me that they waited 4 days to give me the ticket. So if that's what I have to do, then I will enter not guilty.
I'll go ahead and enter a not guilty plea. We'll schedule this matter for a pretrial conference with the city attorney. You'll get a notice in just a minute. They'll make sure that you make that call at the appropriate date and time. Because if you don't, the prosecutor will tell me that she didn't call, and then the court will find you in default and find you guilty and impose those forfeitures as well. So we'll do that. Then at the pretrial conference, then you can tell your side of the story. So what happens is the prosecutor's not here, so I can't really hear any evidence. If I do, a lot of times I have to recuse myself.
Okay.
So that's why we're
There's
only
just
here.
there's some issues that
And
are a
whenever there's
problem.
issues like that, I always encourage people to enter a not guilty plea, because even if you can't resolve it, then if there's
because
issues.
it's not really a safe intersection to put a bus stop because you can't see the intersection when you come around the corner.
Okay,
so.
okay. Okay, once you receive that, that will take care of it this evening. Thank you. Morgan Maston. Ms. Maston, do I have your correct address in Bristol Court in Stoughton?
Yep.
You received a citation for operating without a valid license because of expiration. That citation carries a penalty of $86.20 and 3 demerit points issued to your driver's license. Do you understand what operating without a valid license because of expiration is?
Yeah.
Okay. It's an unusual citation. So the forfeiture $86.20 is $20 plus costs. The statute is 343.05, which carries a range of 0 to $200. So you're not at the minimum, but you're pretty close. You understand that? And it's 3 demerit points issued to your driver's license. All right. Any questions regarding these citations?
No.
Now is the time. Do you have a valid license now?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to show
receipt.
the police officer or the bailiff? Excuse me. Okay, so your license was expired, you didn't realize that, and then right away, it looks like you went and
Within-
updated your
yep.
registration. Okay. Court's goal is to make sure that people have valid licenses. Because you went and
Thank you.
fixed the situation very closely, court will dismiss the citation on its own motion.
Thank you.
We'll give you a receipt in just a minute. Once you receive that, that will take care of it this evening. Logan Hall. Mr. Hall, do I have your correct address in Roosevelt Street in Stoughton? All right.
Yeah, 723.
You received 2 citations. One is for operating while revoked.
Yeah.
The citation carries a penalty of $124 and 3 demerit points. Issued your license. That's under 343.44. 1B. Okay, 1B. Forfeiture range is $0 to $2,500. So you're $50 plus costs. So you're not at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
Okay. You understand the difference between operating while suspended and operating while revoked?
yeah.
Okay. What is it?
Revoked, you can't drive. Suspended, you can get occupational.
No, not quite.
No? All right,
Suspended
that's
usually
fine.
means you haven't paid a fine or something. It's usually considered more of a civil, whereas operating while revoked is usually more severe. Either you had your license, revoked for drunk driving or reckless driving or something to that effect. That's the
Okay.
difference on that. So, okay. Second citation is operating motor vehicle without insurance. That citation carries a penalty of $124. That's $50 plus costs. Forfeiture range on this is as follows. It's under 344.62. $0 to $500. You're at $50 plus costs. You're not at the minimum, but you're at the lower end of the scale. You understand the citation?
Yeah.
Any questions regarding either of them?
Not really. I just wanted to see if I could get reduction or a payment plan or anything to help, because I'm financially not able to, I can't pay it.
All right, so the operating motor vehicle without insurance. Do you have insurance on the vehicle?
No.
All right. And then is your license still revoked?
Yeah.
Okay. Couple routes we could do. We could do the not guilty plea. You meet with the prosecutor, could give you more time to work out a payment. Or if you want to get it over with tonight, you can enter a no contest plea, and then I could hear, how much time that you would need.
I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know what to do.
We'll enter a not
I don't
guilty-
have money to pay anything, so
Okay.
I'm
We'll enter a
pretty
not guilty
screwed
plea.
at this point.
We'll enter a not guilty plea. We'll talk to have you talk to the prosecutor phone call and see if you can reach an agreement, especially about a payment plan. I'll give you a number to call. Make sure that you call that number, because if you don't, what will happen is I will just enter I'll find you, or the court will find you default and find you guilty, and then just probably impose a 30 or 60-day forfeiture to pay the fine. So it's in your best interest to attend the pretrial conference and see if you can work out a deal, especially with a lengthy payment plan.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll give you that not guilty plea form in just a minute. Are we almost out of time slots?
Oh, no, we're still, okay.
Okay, good. We'll give you that form in just a minute, and once you receive that, that will take care of it this
All
evening.
right.
Then.
Thank you.
Gianna Simonetti. Tell me how to pronounce your name. Okay, so I was fairly close. Simonetti. Okay. You okay? All right, Ms. Simonetti, you have 2 citations, 2? No, just 1, excuse me. One is for operating without a carrying license. This citation carries a penalty of $73.60 and 0 demerit points issued license. Oh, all right. Forfeiture range on this citation is as follows. Let's see. $0 to $200. is that, $10 plus cost? $10 plus cost, you're almost at the minimum forfeiture. Do you understand what operating without carrying license is?
Yes.
All right, you understand the forfeiture as well?
Yes.
Do you have a valid license?
Yes.
Do you have it on you?
No, but I have the pictures that I provided to
Okay.
the police officer.
Yeah,
at the
can
time.
you want to show, do you have those pictures? You want to show that to the
Yeah.
police officer? I won't confiscate your phone.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, how come you didn't bring it with you?
Because I had just gotten back from vacation.
No, right now. How come you didn't
right
bring it
now,
tonight? Yeah.
because it's my mom took me here. Like I didn't. It's in my car.
Okay. All right, so the way this citation works is that it's basically used as a plea bargain, so when somebody a lot of times has an operating after suspension, if they get it updated, they reduce it to this. But the statute itself says if you should provide proof at the court at the time that you're for initial appearance, if you provide proof that you actually have a license, a citation in the statute says it gets dismissed. So
Okay.
according to the statute, you should. It would have been better if you brought the one, but that's a fair and accurate picture of your driver's license.
Mhm.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay. Based upon your and as far as the court, based upon your statement that you have a license and that is a fair and accurate depiction, under the statute, I must dismiss the citation on the court's own motion. Citation's dismissed. I'll give you a receipt in just a minute.
Thank you.
Yep. Stephen Hack? Mr. Hack, do I have your correct address on Rose Street here in Stoughton?
Yes.
You received a citation for operating motor vehicle without insurance. Citation carries a penalty of $50 plus cost for total forfeiture $124. 0 points. Forfeiture range is $0 to $200. So you're at the quarter way up the scale. Now, do you have insurance on the motor vehicle?
Yes.
Did you provide proof? All right,
Yes.
if you want to give that to the bailiff, I'll take a look at it. The bailiff's getting a good workout tonight, getting his steps in. I'm going to match the VIN number. It's a match. I'll find that you provide, you showed me proof. The goal is to make sure that people have proper insurance. You've shown me that proof in the court's own motion. Citation will be dismissed. We'll get you a receipt for that in just a minute.
All right.
There's two more. Luxinger is the next
Luxinger.
one, and then Kuhn is after that. That
Okay.
came after that.
Jeremy Luxinger?
Let's skip someone here.
Mr. Luxinger, do I have your correct address in Sunset Court in Deerfield?
Yes.
All right. You received citation for retail theft, intentionally taking less than $500. The citation carries a $100 penalty plus cost for total forfeiture, $187. Forfeiture ranges on this anywhere from $50 to $1,000. So you're at the minimum, and you're not at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. Understand that?
Correct.
All right. Now, in addition to that, a lot of cases I can issue restitution. However, my notes say this is a Walmart case. Walmart handles their own restitution individually, so I don't ever receive a restitution request.
Right.
You might receive one on your own, just so you're
Okay.
aware of that. If you receive that, you would be entitled to, they could collect the restitution.
My
rate.
debit card was declined.
Oh,
I
okay.
swiped it at the automatic machine and it was declined. I didn't notice it. It said, do you want a receipt? I said, no. It was actually.
Do you want to enter a not guilty plea and talk to the prosecutor
No,
about this?
I'm guilty.
Oh.
I'll go pay it. I
Okay,
just
okay.
done and over with.
So
I don't
is that,
have to
is
go
that
back.
effectively a guilty plea?
Yes, it is.
All right. Let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have facts basis
Yeah.
for your plea.
I didn't think I was gonna make it tonight for work, so I called actually. And I said, I wasn't gonna make it, and then I got in town just in minutes, so.
Okay, so yeah, I see.
I don't have time to come back, so get it done over with.
Sometimes these police reports are elaborate, this one.
Yeah. Some officers do their job well.
Okay, I read the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea, accept your guilty plea and find you guilty. Anything you'd like to say before I decide on the sentence?
No,
I find the
like I said-
$187
like I said,
forfeiture
I'm
to be
going to pay it.
appropriate. How much time do you need to pay?
Couple weeks.
I'll give you 30 days, is that fine?
Sounds good.
Okay. You can either pay it by mail or you can bring it into the dispatch window
Okay.
downstairs.
Sounds
so-
good.
Next one is Howell.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming in. Roberta Howell? Ms. Howell came before court and asked me if she needed to bring her citation. I got it right here, so if you need to bring it.
Sorry, I didn't realize I was talking to the judge, so I apologize.
You're more polite than a lot of defendants who always ask where they're going, so, or they don't know where the courtroom is. All right, Ms. Howell, do I have your correct address in Brooklyn Drive in Stoughton?
You do.
All right, you received a citation for speeding in a speed zone 16 and 19 miles over the limit. You understand what speeding 16, 19 over limit is?
Yes.
This citation carries a penalty of $124 and 40 merit points issued your driver's license.
Yes.
That's a $50 forfeiture plus costs. They range from $30 to $300 depending on facts and circumstances. Okay, you understand all that?
I do.
Okay, I give a 10-mile-an-hour leeway for these citations. If you were to go to the prosecutor and they're not guilty plea, that's usually a lot of times the same result. So instead of 16 to 19 over, I would reduce this to 1 to 10 over, which would result in 3 their merit points instead of 4. Forfeiture stays the same at $124. You understand that 10-mile-an-hour leeway as well? Okay. Any procedural questions for the court?
No.
All right. Now is the time I take your plea. What is your plea to 1 to 10 over? Guilty, no contest, or not guilty?
No contest.
You understand with a no contest plea, it must find you guilty?
I do.
All right, let me read the police report. I want to make sure I have a factual basis for your plea. Okay, I read the police report. I do find a factual basis for your plea. Accept your no contest plea and find you guilty of speeding, 1 to 10 over. Anything you'd like to say about the forfeiture amount?
It'd be great if it was less, but I'll pay it if that's what it is.
I will reduce that to, instead of $124, $98.80.
Thank
Sorry,
you, Your
ma'am.
Honor.
How much time do you need to pay that?
I'll pay it tonight.
Okay, I'll give you the receipt for the $98.80. Once you receive it, you can take that downstairs. There's a dispatch window or a glass window. You can
Okay.
just pay that amount tonight, and that will take care of it then.
All right, thank you.
I'll grant you 30 days in case something happens on the way down, but just
Okay,
for your
thank you.
information. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
K-U-H-N.
Okay, K-U-H-N. Cameron, is it Kuhn?
Yes.
All right. Step forward to the microphone. Okay, Mr. Kuhn, 4 citations. The first is operating after revocation or suspension of registration. That citation carries a penalty of $98.80 and 0 demerit points issued to your license. That's $30 plus costs. The forfeiture range on this, I had it earlier, but I can't remember exactly what it is. 341,031. 0 to $200. So you're not at the minimum, but you're at the low end of the scale. You understand that?
Yes.
Second citation is operating motor vehicle without proof of insurance. That citation carries a penalty of $10. You understand what operating without proof of insurance is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Third citation is operating after revocation, suspension. Same one as before, but probably on a different date. $98.80 is 0 to $200, 0 points. First one occurred, it looks like, on March 12th. Second one occurred on March 31st. Third one is also operating motor vehicle without insurance. The citation carries a penalty of $124. Okay, you understand that citation as well?
Yes.
All right. Now, that's a lot to sort through, and I don't know if they've been updated or not, but my suggestion would be that you enter a not guilty plea. Talk to the prosecutor, explain how you got 4 citations. If you updated your registration and insurance, I'm sure that that would help matters.
Yes.
Is that something that you would want to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then I also paid the tickets that had my registration suspended, so
That
that's
way-
no longer.
Make sure that you bring that up to the prosecutor then. We'll see what they want to do with it. So, okay, we'll enter a not guilty plea. We'll schedule this matter for pretrial conference on May 15th. When you call the prosecutor, make sure that you call at that time, because otherwise you'll be defaulted and found guilty of the
Okay.
4 citations. And then mention that the registration's been paid for and that you have valid registration again. And then provide proof of that to the prosecutor as well.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
With that, I'll give you that not guilty plea, the notice dates. Make sure that you make the call. And once you receive that notice date, that will take care of it for this evening then.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
For all 4.
Oh,
I'm
when's-
not sure who those people are.
Are you a defendant tonight?
They're hearing.
Yes,
At what time?
6 o'clock.
Oh, okay, you're a little early. Oh, we're gonna go through the rest of them and then well, actually,
Kind of a crowded room.
what's that?
It's kind of a crowded room.
Yeah, it was. Oh, my 6 o'clocks. Was that one of the?
Oh,
All right. The prosecutor may be here, we're not sure yet, so I'm gonna wait a little bit, we'll clear the docket.
What is the name again?
And you will be Cale Drierson, is that right?
Dearson.
Jerson, yeah,
And for
And this.
Thomas Dearson,
okay.
I'm representing him.
Are you an attorney?
I am his caregiver, and I talked to the court.
I know, you can state what that is, but the problem is that there's a law called unauthorized practice of law. You can tell me what it is, but as far as representing it, that's the wrong choice of words. But you're appearing on his behalf to tell me what the
Okay, then I'm
status
appearing
is.
on his behalf.
Yeah.
Yes, he has advanced Parkinson's and he's not mobile anymore.
Okay, that's something we can talk about in a few minutes. I want to see if the prosecutor appears. Thomas Anderson is a default judgment. You ready? I'm sorry, I jumped the gun.
No, that's all right.
Kathleen Archer is a bond forfeiture. Francisco Baltanu is a default judgment. Laura Bambro is a default judgment on all 3 citations. Michael Cady is a default judgment on all 3 citations. Dwight Cloak is a default judgment. Tina Crenshaw is a default judgment. Zachary Daniel is a bond forfeiture on both citations. Cole Davis is a default judgment, excuse me. Robert Davis is a default judgment. Andrew Dittmer is a default judgment. Sarah Elsner is a bond forfeiture. Courtney Erickson is a bond forfeiture. Alvin Fashing is a bond forfeiture. Matthew Fisher is a bond forfeiture. Jesus Manuel Gonzalez Cortez is a default judgment on both citations. Louis Helverson is a bond forfeiture. Now, Antoine Hansen, see payment receipt. Okay, shows that he's updated his registration. Since he provided proof of registration, the court on its own motion will dismiss the citation. Leah Huxama is a bond forfeiture. Paige Johnson is a default judgment. Wesley Lloyd Edward Jordan Buskager is a default judgment. Patricia Juve is a bond forfeiture. Chad Callison is a default judgment. Charlene Kistel is a default judgment. Joaquin Laura Ortiz is a default judgment on both citations. Barbara Lawrence is a bond forfeiture. Matthew Ligue is a default judgment of both citations. Jorge Armando Macias Miranda is a bond forfeiture. Joshua McCommon is a default judgment. Jordan Montgomery is a default judgment.
It's actually not guilty.
Oh, not guilty? Excuse me. Not guilty plea. We'll withdraw the default judgment, filed an answer, or filed not guilty plea, and enter not guilty plea. Annalise Christine Oxnavad.
It's her father's, insurance is in the father's name, but it's for the car she was driving.
Okay. And it's updated. Court find valid insurance. Court on its own motion will dismiss the citation. Jordan O'Malley is a default judgment. Nohelia Ortiz, bond forfeiture. Eurydice Ortiz Escanio is a bond forfeiture. Ricardo Antonio Pagan Rivera is a default judgment. Lojeta Paloja is a default judgment. Anthony Peterson's default judgment. Gary Prochnow is default judgment. Nicholas Ramsden is a default judgment. Colin Reese is a default judgment on all three citations. Joseph Rivera Lopez is a bond forfeiture on both citations. Blas Jose Joaquin Romero Chacin is a bond forfeiture on both citations. I don't want to say that again. All right, too many, lots of words. Lots of mispronunciations on my part, I'm sure. Oliver Schmitz is a bond forfeiture. Stacy Schoen is a default judgment. Austin Sherwood is a default judgment on both citations. Wesley Smith Dillard is a default judgment. Nathaniel Tierman is a default judgment on all three citations. Joel Thyssen is a default judgment. Lindsay Tway is a default judgment. Jesus Valdeblanquez Boscan is a bond forfeiture. Anna Purani Vembu Julian is a default judgment. Shanika Watson is a default judgment. Toshina Welch is a default judgment. Destiny Wilson is a default judgment. Daniel Winters is a default judgment. Four citations. Walter Wertzler is a bond forfeiture. Stephanie Zevers is a default judgment. Court's going to take an 8-minute recess. Okay, the court will return to session at this time. The court will call the case of Thomas Drierson. Oh,
Sorry. Information from you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Please state your name.
Colleen Dearson.
Okay. Dearson?
Dearson.
Okay. I kept saying Drierson, but it's Dearson. My
We're used to
apologies.
it.
Okay, thank you. Are you related to Thomas?
I am his ex-wife and
Okay.
now caregiver.
Okay. So is Mr., say again one more time.
Dearson.
Dearson. Is Mr. Dearson currently married?
No.
All right. And you said, before, when we had a session, you said he has Parkinson's disease?
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
Parkinson's. I live in the house.
Okay. So he has a number of citations
Yep.
from a while ago that total $8,354.80. Is Mr. Dearson, is he employed?
No.
Is he receiving state aid?
Yeah, disability.
Okay, so, and so he is unable to pay for these citations, and it's not anticipated that he will ever be able to work again?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
I figured if we could get on, plead no contest and I'll make payments.
Well,
if-
no, but you didn't receive the citations,
I did not.
so you can't really step in the place of somebody else, but you're basically telling me that he receives no income. He receives less than $10,000 in income each year.
No, a little more than that, just enough to make the mortgage.
Okay, where does he receive his income from?
Just disability only.
Oh, but that's disability, that's not really considered
Okay.
income, and so, for that. So, in other words, I mean, because if you're below the poverty level, what I'm finding is basically, it sounds like he is indigent, means he doesn't have any funds for this. And he's not married, so, I mean, you could pay, but that's not your responsibility, especially as his ex-wife. Does he own his own property?
Him and I both do.
Okay, so it's in both of you.
So that's why I was like,
Okay.
I'll make some of the payments.
Well,
I
no,
was,
but only he's responsible then, but he's making less than he's receiving public aid. All these meet the definitions of poverty. Because of
sir.
that, because I will consider him to be indigent, and I'll say that these forfeitures are uncollectible. I'll make that finding then, so.
Thank you, sir.
Not only do you not have to pay for it, but I'll find that basically they're uncollectible, based upon he's under the poverty limit and receiving state aid. The reason why I say state aid, that automatically qualifies you for poverty as well,
Sure.
for the indigent level. So I'll make that finding, and I'll find that this is not collectible, and I'll direct that the city write this forfeiture off.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, now, the next case we'll call is Cale Dearson.
He last year was here and signed a payment plan or agreed to a payment plan of $500 a month.
Okay.
And
You agreed to $500 a month for payment plan, what happened?
I have started paying it
Okay.
recently.
Do you want to just continue with a $500 payment plan
Yes.
per month?
we
Okay.
haven't received any payment.
Oh, we haven't received any
No,
payment?
there's been no payment.
I've definitely started paying, and my checks are being garnished for it.
Oh, but you're not making any voluntary payments?
I have within the past month.
Maybe to the Department of Revenue,
Yeah.
and we haven't gotten anything.
Oh,
from them.
okay. So, what I'm gonna do is we'll report back in 3
That's
months.
interesting,
Yeah. We'll check on the status of the Department of Revenue. It could be somebody else, if
Do
you
you
for
have
collections
tickets
as
with
well.
other municipalities?
Yeah, do you have citations with other municipalities?
Yes.
Okay,
And
that's
they
why.
divide it up.
That's why, so, okay. Have you report back here in 3 months. We'll send you out a notice, and then we'll just look for a status update at that time.
Okay.
That will take care of it this evening, and thank you.
Thank you.
And then
Felicia Wisniewski? What we here for?
I am Felicia Wisniewski.
She wants an ID exemption, but she still has a balance there. So
Okay.
I don't know if that matters.
All right, you
This
still,
is the list, I'm sorry, of
Right, sure.
vehicles that is in her name, but she's looking for an exemption for just one, I believe.
which one are you looking for an exemption for?
Well, there should only, I currently own the Honda Fit, which has an IID device currently installed and is fully insured. All the things have been done that I can do. However, I found out that I had a 1990 Nissan Maxima that I sold to my roommate, Michael Ashbrook.
Hang on. I just have a one in front of me
Yeah,
with,
This is the information on the Nissan.
okay.
I also have information for you if you'd like.
I have what you emailed
Oh,
to us.
okay, okay, awesome.
I just- When I pulled the record, there are all of those. The DOT is only saying that there's that one?
Yes, I spoke with them. They're saying it's just that one that is out there that requires an IID that, it was scrapped 15 years ago.
Which
And
one was that? Is that the Nissan?
Yes, the white Nissan 1990 Maxima.
Okay. I think it's- all right, you just need an exemption of that because it's scrapped?
Yeah, but what other ones do you guys have, just in case?
That's why I'm afraid I don't want you to have to come back.
Yeah.
The Nissan 1990, and then there's a 2013 Smart.
I sold that vehicle probably about 2 years ago.
Did you change the?
Did you sign the title and give it to the new owner?
Yes, I did, and I.
You might want to check that because it's still registered in your name.
Yeah, there's a 91 Honda, 94 Ford, and an 84 Buick.
I have none of those vehicles any longer. Can you guys exempt those because I don't have them?
I'm not comfortable doing that, so I will exempt.
This one,
'cause
okay.
You might want to
This
check.
is the
to see-
only one that they told me at the DMV about, which I did
Okay,
call a lot of people.
Maybe they've done that. So, yeah, based upon you, but your statement is the 1990 Nissan.
Yeah, that's the only one they told me was the issue, and I did a lot of digging.
I'll go ahead and exempt that since you trashed it a long time ago, so.
Okay, thank
Junkyard, I
you.
should say. Okay, so I will sign the order to exempt that as well.
Okay.
And then you have a forfeiture of a $785.
No.
I'm
this is the
indigent.
balance.
Oh, 135.84.
I am on SSDI and have been pretty much since that,
Okay.
since my OWI that I got here back in probably 2017,
You know what I'll do? I will
2018.
I'll grant an extension of 6 months to pay that. See if you can pay it with.
Okay, where do I get a copy of this, what I owe you guys so that I
Email it
can?
to
I can send you some.
Okay, thank you.
Because previously it was all paid by the Department of Revenue. You had a balance and $649 came from the Department of Revenue. If they took your taxes or what, I'm not.
I think I went there and paid them that. I remember going there and paying them an exorbitant amount, for me, an exorbitant amount of money. But that was back in probably 3-4 years ago.
Okay, I'll send you a balance so you have it. And you said 6 months?
Because I
6 months.
currently get $824 a month in SSDI, and I've been on SSDI for 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. And I'll send that form to the DOT.
Okay, thank
So that
you.
you're exempt tomorrow.
And then will I be receiving these copies by mail, email, hard copy before I leave today?
Well, how about by mail? I think that'd be
by
the easiest.
mail, I think it's the best way to make sure, I can copy
Okay.
your email because I have it, but we'll also send a hard copy.
Okay, otherwise I do have a hard copy you could sign today for the Nissan.
Can I ask where you got that from?
I got it from the library at the Municipal Courts in Madison, Wisconsin.
Wow, because they're not supposed to have that available to the public. It's like a.
Well, the clerk of courts
form that
handed
they-
it to me.
That's crazy. I've been trained, do not give that to anybody.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to fill out 3
Yeah,
of
do you
them.
want
and
to, do you mind giving that to us?
Yeah,
That's
I
a-
have a copy. She emailed a copy.
Yeah.
So, and what we do.
Underneath is a letter to the judge.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have
I'll
that
keep
too.
it for-
While I'm at it,
Thanks.
then-
Thank you. I'll get that sent.
I
to
made
the
other copies in case I
DOT
messed
tomorrow.
up.
Oh, wow. That's so
So,
funny. They're not supposed
I didn't know.
No.
So I'm not gonna give you the copies that were filed.
Yeah,
if
it's fine.
that's okay.
That's
But I have a bunch of blank copies because I didn't know.
No, I have the form. I don't need.
Well, we're not supposed to have them, you said.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was just gonna due diligence.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, and now you don't have to make all the papers.
Really?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
my
that'll take care
pleasure.
of this. That's all we needed then.
Yeah. I'm sorry that this took so long for me to get my life together. I appreciate your patience and seeing me on the matter.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good evening, guys.
You too. Oh, yeah. Snapped it earlier today, I guess. Here we go. That's the letter he sent, and there's this.
James Hammis. Microphone, please. Yeah, or defense counsel, whatever's more comfortable for you.
What do you want me here?
The podium's fine. Okay.
Thank you for trying, but I'm here.
Thank you. Mr. Hammis, your outstanding fines amount in the court is $23,505.10.
Okay.
So, how do you, do you want to enter a payment plan? How do you propose that with this amount get paid?
Well, as I said in my material that I sent to you, Judge, and I realize I didn't get it out till Monday, for example, just breaking it down, and again, these are not excuses in any way, shape, or form. My financial situation since COVID is probably no different than many people. But for example, you have a long list of traffic citations there and parking tickets.
Mm-hmm.
But somehow somebody decided that they're in my name, and none of the vehicles I haven't had a vehicle in my name in 20 plus years, but somebody made the decision that it's, even though the tickets are in companies' names, that somehow I am responsible for those company tickets. The bigger macro issue, I think, that I need to at least provide some guidance to this court or discussion with the, and I brought this up with Madam Clerk Mary before in a previous matter. I had a long-standing 6-year payment plan with the Department of Revenue that included a referral from Stoughton Municipal Court. Now, I realize, looking at this list, something hasn't been done, but keep in mind that when I made this agreement, which was in for $38,000 to $50,000 of deferred debt from Stoughton Municipality, from the Department of Workforce Development, all those types of things. I worked that process all the way through 2021, and then received confirmation from the Department of Revenue that all of my responsibilities have been complied with. So how they, again, it doesn't seem like you guys got any of the money. I'm just telling you what I want to be able to provide proof to the court that, you know, I complied with what they told me to do, so my expectations. So when I came the last time, you were gave me the continuance on that time frame for the 5 tickets. When you said, when Madam Clerk Mary said they hadn't been paid, you could see I wasn't acting. I was like, whoa, hold on. And with that explained as well, I understand that your tenure's, completing soon. I mean, I know how to read the news, so I don't want things labored over other courts and other jurisdictions. So what I had asked as part of that is to have the opportunity for Mr. Brodke, who is on maternity leave, to go through some of the list of the material and see what can be done, and then establish, as we've done before, while we worked on the other prior 5 tickets, establishing a payment plan, which will have to be substantial, because it'll still be in the 5 figures. I mean, it's not going to be $3,000 off of what all these other outstanding fines. Now, I have raised issue with him in the past, in the 2021 timeframe, where I think that some of the conduct of Mr. Stacy was punitive, and I think that's somewhat valid in terms of a perpetual issue.
The problem with that argument, though, is
Yeah.
you've already been found guilty.
I understand,
there's
Judge.
no that, so,
Yep, I
okay.
understand.
Okay, just so we're aware of that.
Oh, I understand all of that. So that's where I'm at with it, and just that's what the purpose of dealing with that part of it. Now, I think I've got some very legitimate observations. I mean, one of them, for example, is, and I know you didn't make the determination, Judge. I'm sure you just got a list of numbers that were given to you. But how somebody's making the determination that I even have direct ownership of these companies, or somehow the corporate veil is being pierced, or things of that nature, it is concerning to me.
Right. But the problem is that you should have received notice, and if you didn't, you didn't contest the charges. So if you're found guilty, you know how difficult it is to reopen a case. So, all right, here's what I'm going to do.
And I understand all that, Judge. You're right, 100%. But the tickets, I've never...
Mr. Amos.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've heard enough. So I'm going to continue this matter for 90 days, and that you provide Mr. Brodke, when he gets back from his maternity leave, a plan, but I'll order that you come back in 90 days for a status conference.
Absolutely, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Ed. Good luck, Matt.
Thank you.
Going back to private, or?
I've stayed in private. It's just 2 evenings a month, yeah. Nothing much has changed. So, but thank you.
Is this Scott Dirt?
Yeah.
We'll see.
We have one other, she's requesting, she didn't show up, requesting to be reopened.
All right. So, my last official act.
Yeah.
So,
I
as
have some things for you in the office, though.
okay, good. As Mr. Hamish just said, this is my last court date. Scott Dirks is going to be taking over. Thank you, everybody, for their help, and it's been an interesting 12 years. With that, court is adjourned. Thank you, everybody.